You're watching ABC10 Plus tonight.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Plus tonight. The fallout from a controversial city council meeting continues. The Lodi city manager was placed on administrative leave. Then John Bartelt takes us to the Yucca Valley Desert to find out who sculpted dozens of statues of Jesus Christ at the top of a hill. ABC10 Plus tonight starts now. Welcome back. The fallout from a controversial city council meeting in Lodi last week continues tonight.
During the meeting, the mayor stopped the city manager from speaking while he alleged widespread misuse of public funds.
Well, the city manager has now been placed on administrative leave. ABC10's Gabriel Porras has the latest update.
Madam City Clerk.
Scott Carney started Wednesday's special Lodi Council meeting in the city manager's chair, but an hour after council members returned from a closed-door meeting, the chair was empty.
We did put Scott on immediate paid administrative leave. The second action that City Council took was an investigation into the claims made by Mr. Carney.
Claims made during this April 1st meeting.
And a forensic audit will be initiated.
Where Mayor Cameron Brigman silenced the city manager while speaking about an investigation into widespread misuse of public funds and allegations that some city leaders are trying to protect certain employees.
I have
You will stop.
Couple more
You will
sentences.
stop.
Just days later, the mayor and two other council members voted to start the third-party investigation and place Scott Carney on leave.
If we're doing something wrong, we can figure that out. But if you're dealing with something that you can't trust, then that's a different story. One day soon.
The mayor read a statement Thursday, but walked away as we tried to ask questions.
Thank you very much.
The previous council meeting, do you still think it was
Thank
appropriate
you
action
very
to
much.
stop this?
Councilmember Lisa Craig Hensley has her own questions.
My questions are the community's questions. How did we get into this situation? Do we need more policies?
The councilwoman is one of the two members who voted to let the city manager keep his seat.
I just didn't receive enough information that I felt leaded to that, what I think is still a very strong action. We need to have our taxpayers and our investors trust that we are doing the right thing.
While this one may be temporary for now, the city of Lodi has a new employment opportunity to fill tonight. The mayor says that the idea of appointing an acting city manager will be discussed during another special meeting set for Friday. At Lodi City Hall, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And keep in mind, Scott Carney was hired in May 2024. He's the 8th city manager in Lodi.
We reached out to him today, but did not hear back. Lodi's mayor says he's hoping the investigation will wrap up within 45 days.
Meanwhile, the Sacramento County Sheriff is sounding the alarm about a program he believes criminals are using as a loophole to avoid jail.
The mental health diversion program allows people charged with certain crimes and who have a mental health disorder to receive treatment instead of jail time.
ABC 10's Devin Truby explains what the sheriff wants to see happen.
But it's gone way too far. The law's taken a bad turn.
Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper says the mental health diversion program has become too lenient and is overused. The program allows people charged with certain crimes and are diagnosed with one of over 300 mental health disorders, from anxiety to more severe neurological disorders, to receive treatment rather than jail, and they might be able to get their records expunged. People charged with failing to register as a sex offender, rape, and involuntary manslaughter are ineligible for the program. Sheriff Cooper wants all child abuse crimes added to that list.
No one in the legislature, no one in law enforcement, no one in the courts can tell you how many cases have happened here in California. How many folks have been diverted for child abuse.
Sheriff Cooper blames two budget trailer bills that passed in 2018 without being heard by the Public Safety Committee for allowing this to happen.
And sometimes in some aspects, I think we're the laughing stock of the country with some of these stupid bills.
The sheriff says in Sacramento County, there are cases where children have died from abuse and their parents qualified for diversion and got their records expunged. He's now supporting AB433, which would exclude child abuse cases from being allowed in the program. He said it's just a small step.
That was ABC 10's Devin Truby reporting.
And that song stuck in my head, but so right, we're getting more daylight. We can feel it now.
Yeah, absolutely. And more daylight means warmer afternoons as well. And that'll be especially true
when we get deep into the summertime, when we have very warm days and we have a long period of sunlight as well, and that just kind of adds to the hours of warmth that we have. Today, though, was itself pretty warm. Made it to 83 preliminarily. We'll have to wait for the official report from the Weather Service there, but that would place it just 1 degree behind yesterday when we made it to 84 degrees. Again, we got to wait for the official number to come out, and we'll get it in about an hour's time. But we have since had some clouds start to move through. So we hit 83 at about 2 o'clock or so this afternoon, and then those clouds have moved in, and that's made temperatures fall. So when we look at current temperatures, we're actually in the upper 70s across most of the valley. 78 in Sacramento, 78 in Marysville, 79 Colusa, 78 in Vacaville, 73 Fairfield, 78 down in Stockton, 80 in Manteca, 79 Modesto, 79 in Tracy, 70 in Placerville, and about 64 up in Truckee and South Lake Tahoe. Through the rest of this evening, we'll be about 75 degrees at the top of the hour, 71 by 8 o'clock, 64 degrees by 10 o'clock, and I do expect at least some of those clouds to be with us through the evening hours before we see more build in overnight tonight. So if you're out and about early on Friday morning, temperatures are going to be in those low to maybe even some mid-50s in parts of the valley, but we're going to continue to have some of those clouds out there, low to mid-50s in the foothills and just above freezing up in the high country. In the big mountain backyard, looking at that hourly forecast for tomorrow, we're going to be climbing, but we're going to top out a little cooler than where we've been because of those clouds. So you see that temperature increase into the 60s by 10 o'clock, 70s by lunchtime. But then instead of continuing up into the 80s by the time we get to 4 or 5 o'clock, because of the cloud cover, again, I'm expecting us to just kind of stay in those upper 70s tomorrow. We've got about 79 for a high temperature, but the average is 72, so despite us not making it into the 80s, we're still going to be running several degrees above average for the time of year. So clouds tomorrow, slightly cooler. I've got 79 in Sacramento, 79 Vacaville, 78 in Fairfield, 80 in Elk Grove, 81 Stockton, 81 Manteca, 82 in Modesto, 80 in Tracy, 70s in the lower elevations, and 60s in the high elevations to end the work week. And as we see on Futurecast, maybe a little bit of clearing through the evening, but then overnight we see those clouds come back and they're going to be with us all day long on Friday. So I am actually expecting some mostly cloudy skies for Friday, but again, I do also expect us to be warmer than average in those upper 70s. In fact, tomorrow should be about 7 degrees warmer than average. Saturday, we continue to see a little bit of a dip in temperatures, but still 5 degrees above average. Then Sunday, Monday, we're going to jump back up into those 80s. Could even see about 85 to start next week. And that's because we're going to get a little push of high pressure into the start of next week as well. So you see the weather pattern, high pressure moves out, temperatures moderate a little bit on Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, even though we get this low pressure developing off the coast, you see that kind of ridging building back in for Sunday, Monday. That's what's bringing us those 80s. But then we get a cutoff low, and that's going to keep our temperatures in those mid to upper 70s for much of next week. Maybe some low 80s, but in general, I think temperatures are trending cooler than what we were talking about yesterday. Over the next 8 to 14 days, very likely warmer across much of the U.S. West. So over the next 3 days, temperatures upper 70s, and then Sunday, those mid 80s, Monday, some mid 80s as well. And then we're going to be in those upper 70s right near 80 degrees into the Easter holiday.
Just a little springtime sizzle, just a taste of it, Brendan.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, stocks ended and started the day down today after a fast decline as President Trump maintained 10% tariffs and even higher tariffs on China.
The volatility is expected to continue as the trade war with China escalates. Christian Cordero has the latest details tonight.
Today, the roller coaster on Wall Street was on a decline. The Dow started and ended down, at one point falling more than 2,000 points. More than half of the gains from yesterday's rally erased. Stocks surged yesterday after President Trump announced a 90-day pause on his tariffs. But reality today set in that Trump is not changing course on the blanket 10% tariffs or his huge tariffs on China.
We'll see what happens with China. We would love to be able to work a deal.
A new Yale study out today says the tariffs are expected to cost U.S. households an additional $4,700 a year on average. That's if the current rates hold. The trade war with China ballooning. New calculations today put the tariff total on Chinese goods coming into the U.S. at 145%. U.S. businesses and consumers end up paying that tax. China so far hasn't budged. Its latest punch today announcing a plan to reduce the number of American films allowed in China, the world's second largest film market. The administration says dozens of other countries are willing to negotiate new trade deals.
People understand where we are, what we're going to do. But it could happen, It's called flexibility. You have to have certain flexibility.
But even an encouraging inflation report couldn't lift the financial markets today. Led by cheaper gas prices, the Labor Department today said consumer prices rose just 2.4% last month, down from 2.8% in February. That's the lowest inflation figure since September.
Consumer prices have actually dropped. There's very little inflation.
The cost of groceries was up 0.5% as egg prices jumped to a new record average of $6.23 a dozen. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Standing on a hill in Yucca Valley, you'll find not one, but multiple life-size statues of Jesus.
John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at Desert Christ Park.
The Yucca Valley doesn't normally get a lot of rain, so in a way, it's sort of a miracle that I visited on such a wet day.
Would you say this is maybe a special day to come then?
Sure, it's a special day.
Rain or Shine Desert Christ Park Foundation President Roxanne Miller is happy to show off the nearly 40 statues sculpted by Antone Martin.
So the original sculpture up there on the hill, it's the one that Antone Martin and Eddie Garber brought to Yucca Valley.
Antone was a sculptor and a poet. In 1951, he was looking for a place to put a concrete Jesus statue that he had recently made. And a Yucca Valley pastor by the name of Eddie Garber had just the place.
And he wanted to create a park dedicated to Christ. And Antone Martin had the ability to create the sculptures to go in that park.
The idea was to create a series of statues along a trail that would depict the life of Jesus Christ. The idea eventually caught the attention of Life magazine, who ended up documenting the delivery of the first statue.
In April of '51, the Foley bringing it up, getting it up on the hillside, because there was nothing below it.
Antone spent the next 10 years sculpting some of Jesus' most famous moments. Then in 1961, he passed away, and the statues stood untouched and slowly weathering away.
So restoration started in 2016.
Thanks to Roxanne and a group of volunteers, the statues have slowly been receiving much-needed repairs.
Some of them needed arms, some of them needed legs.
Desert Christ Park is free and open to the public every day. You don't have to be religious to walk the trail. Antone Martin's statues are for everyone to enjoy, rain or shine.
I hope they walk away with a little peace in a chaotic world.
From Desert Christ Park in Yucca Valley, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Well, we know that in news, stories are filled with challenges and hardships, but incredible things are happening every day, from neighbors helping neighbors to inspiring acts of kindness. Each week in our segment, Champions of Hope, we're sharing stories on people making a real difference and reminding us all of the power of community. So tonight, we introduce you to a Folsom firefighter who's helped deliver a baby or two.
For Folsom firefighter and paramedic Kyle Post, some calls have left him saying, "Oh boy."
We arrived to find a woman who was about to have an imminent delivery.
Kyle and his crew recently responded to a call with an expecting mother.
With childbirth, things can go really well or they can go very poorly, very quickly.
And had to make a quick decision to rush the mother to the hospital, or
we decided that we were going to go ahead and have the delivery in her home.
Thanks to Kyle and his team,
she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. I was ecstatic because I was able to be part of that and then bring a healthy baby boy into this world and this planet.
Delivering babies has become Kyle's unofficial specialty.
This was the 7th delivery that I have been a part of.
For Kyle, helping people in their time of need is
the most rewarding aspect of this job, because there's not a whole lot of other career paths that you can take where you can directly influence your community.
And our team knows there are so many more stories that are waiting to be told. So if you know someone that's making a difference, we'd love to hear about it. You can share your story by emailing us at tothepoint@abc10.com.
If you're looking for something to watch this weekend, it's the perfect time to check out a movie that takes place right in the capital city.
Yeah, it's called Sacramento. The movie is about a man who convinces his longtime friend to go on a road trip from LA to Sacramento.
And you'll see a lot of Sacramento landmarks in the film, including the Tower Bridge and the Dive Bar. That's where ABC10's Marcus Allen met up with the movie's director and writer and a special guest.
I'm a lifelong Sacramentan. I love that you did a movie called Sacramento, and it shows Sacramento in a great light. And you came here a decade ago. It had inspiration. So we're super excited about you all. So we're going to give you something. This is a big deal. We're giving you keys to the city of Sacramento. There we go.
That's awesome. Big round of applause.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. That means a lot. Thank you. That's a girl.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Plus tonight. We are here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
Our free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app has so much to offer. Get your news live and on demand 24/7, so you can watch the news when you want. There's breaking news, extended forecast, and so much more. We have everything you need to get through your day and ready for the weekend. We've got you covered on money-saving tips, travel, entertainment, and sports. Download the free ABC10 Plus app on your smart TV and popular streaming devices like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. ABC10. We stand for you 24/7.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.